Before we go and look at the toys, do you want
Yeah.
to just explain the difference between
Yeah,
focused and radial, why we'd have one or the other or both?
So focused shockwave therapy is the original. That's a lithotripter. So that means stone splitting. So that's a sound wave that you use for kidney stones or urethral stones. So the sound waves pass through the body's cavities, and then at a point it's focused and it breaks the speed of sound, if you like.
Yeah.
It's a little mini explosion. And a musculoskeletal focused shockwave, a lithotripter, is just less powerful. That's all. And it doesn't have quite the accuracy. But they were too expensive. Even, the sort of one I got was, 100 grand 10 years ago. So there was a particular device manufacturer, not this one, about, say, 18 years ago. And there was another device being manufactured. It's quite interesting, the history of this. Another device for breaking up urethral stones was being invented at the time. And that was lithoclast as opposed to lithotripsy. So that's smashing the stone. So that was passing up a tube through the urethra, up into the urethra, and then a bullet was fired up that tube where it nestled up against the stone. So it was dump on the stone, bullet would hit, bang, and it would smash the stone. Much cheaper and so forth. But there is actually that use in urology at the moment, but there's only a few manufacturers. But anyway, that manufacturer took that idea and said, that's a good cheap version of the musculoskeletal focus shockwave.
Yes.
And that became the radial shockwave device. So it's a bullet in a gun firing down, ballistic energy. It's an air device. And it does that as opposed to bang.
Yes. Okay.
Much cheaper, easier to maintain, so on and so forth, but it's not a shockwave.
Do you find people have trouble getting their head around the idea that you're talking about sound waves,
and pressure waves,
whereas this is a mechanical thing, which of course a sound wave is?
Yes. Yeah, so pressure wave and sound wave, they're in a sense the same as far as a physicist is concerned. But a physicist would say that's a shock wave and that's a radial pressure wave. That's a pressure wave.
Yes.
There's a difference there. And the difference between radial and focused in terms of the physics is quite large. It's almost like an entirely different thing. But one is much cheaper and more accessible.
But in terms of how you'd use them, why would you choose one over the other in therapeutic settings?
Radial shockwave is all the energy when you put it against the skin. The energy that it produces hits the skin, and most of the energy is then dispersed through the dermis and a little bit underneath. And then as it comes out, it goes in this radial direction. It comes out. So you're getting a big surface area of hit. But by the time it goes an inch or two in, you've lost a lot of the energy.
Okay.
So myofascial treatments, radial's perfect. Superficial tendons, good. When it comes to deeper stuff and more complex stuff, then focus shockwave, which you can really target the tissue. So that goes through the tissue. No energy is expended. It would go through your hand. So you'd have to put two hands here, and you'd hit this hand and not that hand. And all the energy would be on you.
So it's not that it goes deeper but affects everything. It won't have any effect on shallow tissues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can set it up to about 12 centimetres. So we're talking way deeper than radial. So if you're going to talk about deep gluteal syndrome, piriformis, if you want to target anything in the glutes, you need a focus to go there.